Question 462. Why does the Ninth Commandment forbid sexual desire?
The Ninth Commandment forbids not desires per se, but rather disordered desires. The covetousness against which sacred scripture warns is the rule of impulses over the mind, the dominion of urges over the whole person, and the sinfulness that causes. The Ninth Commandment says to not covet your neighbor's wife. Why is that? Let's discuss this. There is nothing wrong with the erotic attraction between a man and a woman because it was created by God and is therefore good. It is a gift from God in order for a man and a woman to love each other, get married, and have children. What a beautiful gift. The Ninth Commandment is meant to protect this union, marriage and family. People must not interfere with that union, which is why we have the Ninth Commandment. When the Ninth Commandment is not obeyed through reckless indulgence, it is as dangerous as children playing with matches and accidentally starting a fire. That's why it's good to have the Ninth Commandment.
Question 463. How does one achieve purity of heart?
The purity of heart required for love is achieved in the first place through union with God in prayer. When God's grace touches us, this also produces a path to pure, undivided human love. A chaste person can love with a sincere and undivided heart. In order to get purity of heart, when we turn to God with a sincere intention, He transforms our hearts to become more pure. Through His grace, He leads us to have pure human love. He gives us the strength to resist a divided heart, correspond to His will, and to reject impure thoughts, fantasies, and desires. That is what it means to have purity of heart. It can happen.
Question 464. What good is shame?
Shame safeguards a person's intimate space. His mystery, his most personal and inmost being, his dignity, but especially his capacity for love and sexual self-giving. It relates also to that which only love may see. Each person is incredibly important because God made each person. Each person has an intimate space that no one can see or know completely, including his capacity for love. And sexual self giving. Only God's love can see this. Many young Christians live in an environment where it is taken for granted that it seems acceptable that everything should be on display. And people are systematically trained to ignore feelings of shame. Unfortunately, that leads to feeling numb and nonchalant with the appearance that nothing is wrong. Animals experience no shame. Are animals and human beings the same? No. In a human being, in contrast, feeling shame is an essential feature in order to protect us. The feeling of shame does not mean hiding something inferior and being repressive, which can lead you to becoming literally sick. The feeling of shame protects something valuable, namely, the God given dignity of the person in his capacity to love. The feeling of shame is found in all cultures, although it assumes different forms. It has nothing to do with being a prude or a requirement for a repressive upbringing. A person is also ashamed of his sins and other things that would demean him if they were made generally known. When that occurs, if people gossip, insult verbally or physically through different actions of bullying, that makes them like thieves who rob that person of his dignity as a human being. That's not acceptable. Shame helps a person know right from wrong, and if struggling with shame excessively, that person should approach a priest, counselor, or best friend when struggling to work through it. Patrick Graybill from the Diocese of Rochester in New York. Thank you for watching. I'm excited to see you again soon.